Come on. Boys and Mommy came to Daddy's work today. Melanie came for a biometric screening for our company's wellness reward, so the boys got to come see where Daddy works today. Even Timmy.
Mom, what
Baby.
about we go up there?
They go up there?
Yeah.
Crazies. Mommy's getting her blood pressure taken. Notoriously high-strung. We'll see how it goes. My family's getting to see my cubicle. He's about to scream. He's touching everything. And Caleb noticed that my pictures on my desk are a little out of date. But that's actually Logan. Like, oh my gosh, a year and a half ago.
What about Caleb? That's me.
That's an old picture of you two. Caleb, what do you think about these weird, funky looking chairs at work? Huh? Yeah, me too. So we're gonna stop by a butcher we know and buy some steaks for tonight. And we're not living the high life. We're just we know a good butcher with the steaks reasonably cheap. And I'm gonna give you some pointers tonight on buying, preparing, and grilling a delicious flank steak. Instead of asking for or looking for individually sliced steaks, pre-sliced, ask the butcher at Publix, ask the butcher where you shop, or if you go to a private butcher, ask him. He actually probably has them in the case already. But non-sliced sections of top sirloin, or if we're doing flank steak tonight, it's going to be cheaper per pound if you take the meat home and cut it yourself. You don't want to pay extra money just to have someone slice your meat for you. Try some places other than whether you're used to shopping. Try butchers. Try places where you may not usually try. Ask your friends where they shop for meat. A friend of mine got me shopping at a place called Tomato Express. It's on the Osceola Parkway. The meat is amazing. Their skirt steak and their picanha, which is kind of like a top sirloin, are second to none. I haven't been able to find meat that tastes this good anywhere else. So for now, that's my place. It's called Tomato Express on the Osceola Parkway. Look it up, Google map it, you can find it, and you can try it for yourself, and you'll see what I mean. So now that you have resolved not to overpay by getting pre-sliced meat, now that you have resolved to try other places than your standard big chain stores, and to look for the best butcher, the best deal, the best tasting, best quality meat. And it may take trial and error. I'm not saying it won't take trial and error, but when you find the right place, you'll know and you'll stay there. Now, before you get to cooking, get yourself a meat thermometer. I'm going to buy this one because I like the digital thing. It allows you to use that little thing on the end there to poke the meat and find out the temperature so that you're cooking the meat to the exact temperature you want. The worst thing that can take taste out of meat is overdoing it, and then the thing that can really gross you out is underdoing it and having like raw meat on the inside. You need a thermometer. Now I can hear the questions, the people, the comments saying, now what do we do, what if, does that let the juice run out? Not enough that it's going to affect the taste by the time we're done. I promise. Okay, so get yourself a thermometer. Is when you go to prepare your meat, you want to, slice it depending on how you like your steak cooked. I like mine medium. We tend to like ours medium, so we cut it about 1 inch to 1.25 inches thick. And I'm going to show you that in a second. And then before you cook it, you want to let it get room temperature. I've heard that a number of times, but I don't remember the reason at the moment. I could have Googled it before I videoed, but that's your job. Go Google it, and you'll find out that there's a perfectly valid and necessary reason. You want to let your meat get kind of down to room temperature, basically, before you go to cook it. So let's cut. Okay, so here's our meat. This is a flank steak. It's a little fatty, but the way it cooks, you don't even taste that fat by the time it's done cooking, do you, Mel?
Nope.
Yeah, you can't. Not at all. So here's our flanks. Yeah, and Melanie doesn't like fatty meat either, and she loves it. So I'm going to cut about 1 inch to 1.25 inches thick. Want to have a nice sharp knife, which I kind of don't. There's one of our pieces there, and we're just going to go chop the whole thing up. So when you get down here to the end, you're going to have this little piece left. This is a good test piece for, okay, I'm not going to lie. This is what I call a test piece, but this just means I get to eat it off the grill before I bring it back in the house, and really no one ever notices that I got an extra piece of steak. This is the test piece. And when it comes time to season, you don't need pepper, you don't need garlic salt, you don't need anything else. You just need this rock salt for cooking. Delicious. This is all you need. So we're going to lightly sprinkle that over the surface of our meat. And it's okay to be kind of liberal with your application. You can put a lot on because a lot is going to fall off on the grill. Then do your other side. And I know you're thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of salt. But this salt is not, it does not stick to the meat like really fine salt does. Remember, this is very rocky, thick salt. And every time I move these pieces of meat, a bunch of the salt falls off. And it doesn't quite melt on the grill, but it does definitely, there is some kind of dissolving action that happens to where it's no longer rocky once it's cooked, and it's hard to explain. Once you've had meat that's been cooked like this, you know what it mean. You'll know what I mean. This is similar to the way that a restaurant like Texas de Brazil does their meat. They only use salt, and they use this type of salt. And some people pat it in like I'm doing. Some people put it on there and then don't touch it, and they will insist that you can't touch it or it degrades the taste. But I like to make sure that it does stick, and I haven't noticed any difference in taste by patting it onto the meat. So now I've got my test piece, and I'll sprinkle that as well. Get that one good. And you want to make sure that you don't salt your meat too early. If you salt your meat an hour before cooking, 30 minutes before cooking, there's going to be a time, I don't know exactly how long because I like to salt mine immediately before cooking, but there's going to be a time where you put it on too early and it pulls moisture from the meat, meaning a dry steak. So remember, salt, will do that. That's why we can't live on salt water. It will pull the moisture out of our bodies. It'll dehydrate us. So we don't want the same thing happening to our meat. So salt right before you cook. Cooking temperature. There's some debate about this. There's some people who insist you need to cook a steak to 150, 160 degrees. You will have a hockey puck. You can find plenty of articles, though, that say it's perfectly safe, perfectly acceptable to cook a steak in the range of medium, which means it needs to have an internal temperature of around 130 to 140 degrees. 140 might be getting toward medium well. So I usually cook it to 130, and bearing in mind that when you take a steak off of the grill, off of your heating surface, it continues to cook. There's some residual heat inside the meat that continues to cook the meat. If you cook your meat up to 125 to 130, it will do some residual cooking, and it will, as you allow your steak to sit, and we'll talk in a little bit about why you want to let your steak sit before cutting right into it and eating it. But as you allow your steak to sit, it will do some residual cooking, and you'll be right inside that safe medium zone. Okay, so let's get the steaks on the grill. I want to know your grill. I know my grill really well. I use a charcoal grill for now. I used to have a propane grill, but I switched to charcoal a while back. Not about taste, more about convenience of being able to get the supplies easy. And I have plenty of people telling me I should go back to propane, and I know it's a cleaner burning thing, but this video is not about what you're cooking your meat over. It's more about your meat prep and all that type of stuff, and your meat choice. So, know your grill. If you have an extremely hot running grill, if your grill just tends to burn things, then you need to keep the heat down. My heat, my grill tends to, at its hottest, get to between 350 and 400, like to where you can't keep your hand over it, okay? So, our steaks are ready to go on. Okay. I might be putting these on a little too early. You can hear that when they touch the metal, you didn't hear a sizzle. I didn't let my grates, the grates over the coals get that hot, but you can hear a little bit of sizzle, so we should be fine. Typically, if you're using a grill like mine with charcoal, you want to let the grates get nice and heated up to the temperature that can actually begin to cook the steak immediately, so you don't put your steaks on a cold surface. Okay, you're going to see some juice start to rise to the top. I'm going to flip these. They're getting a good char. Beautiful char, but when you flip them, you can tell they're still tender. Still tender, beautiful. Test piece. It's like I've got Texas de Brazil at my house. Try this and you will know what I mean. Delicious. Just salt. Thank you, Pastor Jay, for that suggestion. Brazilians got it right. This thermometer is not an instant temp, but it's pretty close. I've got to put it in there and kind of hold it there. See how this little guy's doing? He's above 130, so we're going to take him off. Probably getting to the point here where they all have begun to hit their goal temperature. So when that happens, you want to quickly remove them from the heat so they don't continue cooking, you know, more than just the residual cook that's natural. So I'm going to check this guy way out here. 114, 121, 124, 128. There's our 130. So he's good. Now it all goes onto the plate and it will residual cook. Even though it's sitting there nice and hot, and it is, even though it's off the heat source, the heating source, it is still continuing to cook. Pretty good mediums, maybe one that's more for Melanie, that's a little medium well, but that's all right. You know, it's not a science. You just got to do your best. I hear Timmy crying. I think he's ready for some steak. Here are our beautiful steaks. It's resting. Now you want to make them rest as much as you are so determined just to rip right in with your bare hands and tear them apart. You got to let them rest. What happens is if you go to cut one of these beauties up too soon, all of the juice will just come pouring right out of it because of the pressure that has built up during each piece of steak during the cooking process. So you want to let them rest, try and reserve yourself, wait for the family, and let them rest for maybe 4 to 5 minutes, not to where they get cold. I mean, they're still hot to the touch. Delicious. So once they've rested, you'll be able to cut into them. The juice will stay there. I mean, look how juicy those are. So as a side dish, Melanie threw together some zucchini, some squash, onion, broccoli, carrots. So and cooked it a little bit, not to try cook every nutrient out of it, but cooked it just enough to be slightly soft. A little bit of soy sauce, salt, pepper, garlic, and that with our steak is gonna be a delicious, delicious meal. There you go. Look at that. First bite.
Oh, very good. Very good, Dad.
I tell you what, this is good meat.
Okay, hold. Okay, out of all days, Logan just is infatuated today with wanting to hold Timmy. So this is the first time Logan has ever held Timmy. This is the first time Logan has ever held Timmy. He hasn't wanted to hold Timmy once yet. What do you think, Log? You love him? Brother. You love your brother? Say, I love you. Say, brother. Giving him huggies. That's how Logan gives hugs. Oh, and a kiss. So sweet. More hug. All done? Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't want to let him go. That's sweet. Give him a kissy. Okay. Say bye-bye. Want to give him to Mommy now? Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh, okay, okay.
Say yay!
Yay!
That was fun. That was sweet, wasn't it, Mom?
Great, Timmy.
So I got my new Breville juice fountain. And one of the best parts about this Breville brand, I guess, is the fact that it has this NutriDisc system, which is able to run at 1300 RPM and, you know, juice your fruits whole, by the way, which is pretty cool, while only increasing the temperature of the juice by 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit, which means you're not heating up the juice and heating off any of the enzymes and nutrients that would be, you know, destroyed by the slightest bit of heat. Man, this is exciting. Timmy, how are you sleeping through this? Oh, I can't wait to juice. Late at night, but we can't wait till morning. And, okay, mostly me. I can't wait till morning. I want to know what it's like to juice. I'm excited to juice. So, we're going to crank it up. Here it goes.
Whoa!
Oh, buddy. Wow. Did you see that? Get it close. How much juice we've made? How many ounces is that? like nuts, like it wasn't even there. Not the most appealing color. Oh, but man, it smells good. Okay, would you like some, my love?
I'll try it.
Okay. Because it's got pear and...
Well, it doesn't have anything weird in it.
It's good. That grapefruit's really... It's the bitterness of the grapefruit that's like overpowering everything, but it's really good. Not as funky as what I thought.
Yeah.
Take another drink now that you're prepared for the taste.
It's unfortunate you can't taste the pear.
It's unfortunate?
Like, yeah.
What do you taste the most?
The apple and the celery, I do.
I taste the celery and the grapefruit.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the bitterness of the grapefruit. But I mean, it's good, right?
It's really good.
It's good.
So we're trying to get healthier. We want to live healthier, be healthier, feel healthier, look healthier. Well, I want to look healthier mainly. She looks great. This one looks great. Be more active. And
Run a marathon.
I want to run a marathon. I've shared this with you guys. I want to run a marathon, and I want to get in the shape that, that can allow me to do that. So it doesn't help that I had to get rid of my basketball hoop. So there's a step back, one giant step back. I just lost my favorite sport in my driveway, and it doesn't help much. But, we're taking steps, like we're eating healthier. We've been eating more quinoa and more proteins, less carbs, less processed stuff. We're going to start juicing. We're brand new to juicing. I probably look like a child playing with a juicer, I'm sure.
Post good recipes.
Yeah, if anyone out there knows recipes, let us know, because I'm Googling them and stuff and looking weight loss juice, and I'm sure I'm like getting who knows what. If you know any good ones and they're proven, let us know. And so we're just trying to be healthy. That's why we're trying to do this. So another thing we're doing is we're doing this thing called the diet bet. I've been posting it on Facebook. Maybe you've noticed. And I don't like that they call it a bet, because it's not gambling. It's, how would you define it? It's like performance-based.
Yeah.
It's not based on odds like gambling is. Like gambling's all about the odds, right? This isn't about odds. It's about performance. And basically everyone gets together, puts money in a pot, and then works together in a community fashion, the way I look at it, to lose the weight together that is your goal. And everyone's supposed to lose 4% of whatever their starting weight is. So I had my starting weight, which I will not share, and I need to lose 4% of my starting weight. Then, at the end, basically everyone who meets their goal, their 4% goal, splits the pot. So if everyone meets their goal, everyone gets their money back. In our diet bet, you can set whatever start you want. Our diet bet is a $15 ante, like in gambling, but it's put $15 in the pot, and if you meet your goal, you get your $15 back, and you can be encouraging others to meet their goal, get encouragement from them to meet your goal. Everyone meets their goal, gets their money back. But if there's anyone who doesn't, despite everyone helping and encouraging, the amount of money you get back grows, obviously, because the fewer people who split the pot, the more money everybody gets. So people will be able to see that, for instance, I may not be on course to meet my goal, so they can email me, encourage me, and say, hey, what can I do? Can we go? Let's go run. Let's go do this or that. So do it with us. Diet bet. I'm going to post a link along with this video on Facebook. Join us. It's only $15.
It's really cool.
It's really neat, and we can hold each other accountable and lose a little bit of weight if you're like us. We're not super unhealthy. We just want to be healthier. We want to be more active and, shed a little bit of weight. Mommy just had a baby. Daddy's carrying baby weight too. I want to get rid of it. Okay.
From Caleb.
I'm carrying baby weight from Caleb, all the way back from Caleb, and then I added a little bit more with Logan, and a little bit more with Timmy. The boys are killing me slowly, so I've got to lose some weight. So 4%, 4 weeks, boom. Join us. Click the link. This has been a really long video. Thanks for hanging around, sticking with us. Go to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe. Stay with us. We're going to, throughout the next 4 weeks, we're going to be talking about how we're doing, how we're, achieving, and maybe how we're failing, so we'll need some accountability. But go subscribe, comment on the video, like the video for us, and look very soon for a brand new introduction to all our videos. Kind of like, think like the Family Matters theme song and the How did the Family Matters theme song go? I can only think of the...
And design.
Some people say it's even harder to find. That one.
For
Okay.
them
So ours will not be like that. Ours will be 3 seconds long, super short, and it'll have a little thing. And we're getting an artist to render us as our whole family as cartoon characters. Keep an eye out for that. That'll be pretty cool when it comes by. And okay, we're done. This video's got to be over 20 minutes by now. Bye.